It's that time of year when people decide to give budgeting another try. A fresh start at improving your finances is a popular plan for the new year, and I wholly approve. Of all the goals you could make at the new year, budgeting is one of the best. So many people are suffering financial stress that could be relieved with the help of a budget. If you're new here, I'm Stephanie from SixFiguresUnder.com. I share frugal inspiration and financial motivation to help you pay off debt and reach your financial goals. What you want to do, I hope you'll follow me. I love budgeting. Nearly 13 years ago, budgeting changed our family's financial trajectory. In 2013, we were a family of 5 living on less than $40,000 a year and in 6 figures of student loan debt. Budgeting not only helped us climb out of that debt faster than we had planned, but helped us feel financial peace in the process. After experiencing the power of a budget, we wouldn't think of going without one. If your goal is to start or restart a budget this year, then I would love to help you be successful. What are your biggest struggles with budgeting? Here are 5 budgeting fundamentals to remember as you start your new budget this year. First, only budget money you actually have. To have a useful and effective budget, you need to work in reality, not the abstract. Don't guess how much money you're going to receive later this month. We're not trying to forecast the future. Just use the real money you have right now. If you haven't been budgeting lately, then start with the total that's currently in your checking account. Assign all of those dollars to a budget category. All of the money will stay together in your bank account. Your budget will be in charge of knowing and reminding you what each dollar's job is. Then, as each new paycheck hits your account, you'll decide what you need that new money to do for you. 2, brainstorm all of your spending categories. Look through all of last year's bank and credit card statements to make sure you think of everything. It's easy to think of the categories you spend from regularly, but sometimes the ones that pop up only occasionally are the most expensive ones. I like to think of my budget categories in a few different groups: fixed monthly expenses, variable monthly expenses, and periodic expenses. Sinking funds are perfect for these. Here are some budget category examples to get you thinking. Fixed monthly expenses: mortgage or rent, health insurance, car insurance, homeowners or renters insurance, cable or streaming subscriptions, phone if you have a landline, a cell phone, HOA fees, debt payments, utilities like trash and internet. Variable monthly expenses: giving, groceries, eating out, gas for your car, household expenses, kids' expenses, entertainment, gifts, utilities that vary like gas and electric and water, cell phone if your plan varies by usage, periodic expenses, life insurance premiums, car registration, annual subscriptions, car insurance, property tax, club or association fees, domain registration renewals, tuition, car repair, medical and dental, Christmas, vacation. 3, prioritize your spending. Once you've thought of all the budget categories that you'll need, think about all the things you need your money to do before you get paid again. If you can't fund all of the categories of your budget with one paycheck or with what's currently in your checking account, don't panic. Start with the most important ones. You don't want to be buying birthday gifts or funding your date nights when you haven't even assigned enough dollars to keep a roof over your head yet. Keep in mind, you can partially fund a category. For example, if you get 2 paychecks per month, you might fund the rent category halfway with your first paycheck and then cover the second half with your second paycheck. Then you're ready to pay your rent in full when the first of the next month rolls around. If you haven't been budgeting lately and you use a credit card, remember that some of your money is already spoken for thanks to last month's spending. Be sure to budget for paying that credit card bill. In the future, your spending will be used up from your budget even though it hasn't come out of your checking account, right when you spend it. So you'll have the money waiting safely and patiently in your checking account to pay that bill. It's important not to budget any money that you don't have yet. So when you run out of money to budget and you have $0 that aren't yet assigned to a budget category, stop. Wait until you have more money before you fund other categories. Fourth, budget all of your money. The other scenario is that you fund all of your essential categories and then you have more money left over. Having money after funding all of your budget categories is a great feeling, but you need to do something with those dollars. If you don't give those extra dollars a job, then they will disappear and you won't know where they went. Having extra unassigned dollars will tempt you to be lazy at following your plan and will hinder you from reaching your goals. So what should your extra money go toward once your regular budget categories are covered? This is where it gets fun. You get to work towards your goals. If you have debt, use that extra to start paying it off. If you haven't started any sinking funds for your larger annual expenses, unexpected expenses, and savings goals, now's the time to start. If you want to take your budget to the next level, set a goal of being a month ahead. 5. Keep keeping track. It's not enough just to set a budget at the beginning of the month. You have to track your spending along the way. Subtract your spending from the amount you have budgeted for each category. That's how you know how much you have remaining to spend. Always check what you have remaining in a category before spending more. How do you keep track? Well, you can use a pencil and paper, make your own spreadsheet, or use an app. My preferred method is using the YNAB app because it does all of this seamlessly with no math or technical skills required. When you have a solid way to keep track of your spending, you can trust your budget to keep your money organized. Instead of looking at your checking account to see if you can make a purchase, you should look at your budget to see if you have funds remaining in that particular category. Of course, you can always move money around from different categories if your priorities change. Reconcile your budget with your various accounts so that you're sure that you can trust what your budget says. Don't give up. Budgeting definitely has a learning curve, but if you stick with it, it will get easier. You're going to continue to use and need money for your entire life, so the time and effort you put into learning to manage your finances now will pay off for so many years to come. It's normal for your budget to change throughout the month. Life happens and is not always predictable. Your priorities will change from one week to the next, and that's fine. You just reallocate your money to reflect what's most important to you now. If an owl randomly flies into you and knocks the side mirror off your car while you're driving down the highway, our slightly mismatched mirrors are proof that this really happens, then you might need to move some money around to cover that expense. Changing your budget doesn't mean you failed. Your budget is meant to be flexible. Just remember that if you increase the amount in one category, you need to subtract funds in other categories to make up for it. And if you want to start fresh, you don't need to wait for a new year to start. You can have as many fresh starts as you need, as often as you need. You can do this. Next year's self will be so glad that you started now.